So are you kind of bored in your personal sex life?
No, I'm being really careful. I'm not like having sex outside of the industry right now. So I'm like
Why not?
I'm kind of recently single
Well, that's
as
good
of like
reason.
as of 3 months ago or so. And I don't want to deal with men outside of the industry because if I have male performer friends, I know they're great at sex. I know we have a good connection. I can just kind of like bang it out and not have to worry about, whether they're going to push back on protection, whether they're going to be weird or creepy about my industry. I don't have to worry about testing, all of those kind of things. And I don't want to date. I have no interest in that. So it just seems like my personal sex life is great and I can have sex when I want it. But I just stick with the performers in the industry.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's it's an interesting thing because a lot of I talk to a lot of performers where they do want to date, and it can be potentially a lonely place to be a performer,
Yeah.
and you're just like, no, fuck that. I'm getting the best of it, and
Well, I've now been in three separate relationships while in the industry at certain times, and two of them there were issues because of performing. Right, I left the industry because the guy I was with was kind of uncomfortable, and I could feel it. So so that already didn't work out. I dated another guy who was a performer, but just like independent sometimes, and then the fact that I did so much work kind of reminded him that he wasn't doing as much. So that's hard too. And so no matter what, if you're in this industry specifically too, it complicates things when you're in a relationship. And so
it
I just
does.
don't at this point want the complications. I don't want to be held back when I have the second chance at a career that I thought I would never have again.
And it sucks that like someone made you choose them or your career in the first place.
Well, I mean, to his credit, he never did. He never asked me to leave. It was just me doing less and less because I was worried about him being uncomfortable. And so I have now adjusted in my life to the point where like I won't do less because of someone else's comfort.
You
Because
shouldn't.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm feeling great.
Well, it's what I say to people like when they were talking about wanting to date performers all the time is like, if you met someone and they were a performer when you met them, you have no right whatsoever to try to change that.
It all seems like so much fun until you catch feelings. And then there's so much jealousy and there's so many kind of weird boundary things. And there's a lot of trust involved. There's a lot of communication that has to happen. It's complicated.
Well, yeah, but there should be trust and communication in any relationship.
Absolutely. I mean, but you're adding in, and I think it's really hard, especially for men to understand that, especially as women, when you work in pro stuff, you're not picking your scene partner. You're going home at the end of the day. The only part that's actual sex is 45 minutes at the end of a 6 hour day. And so,
And it's not sexy. Like a lot of times it is not sexy.
yeah, I mean, you want it to be, but it does feel like work and it is sex and it is a connection that you're having with another person, but it's like a fun high five bro kind of connection. And so I think a lot of men are like, well, if you're getting to have sex, then I should be able to get to have sex. And it's not that we're getting to have sex. I'm not finding like the hot guy at the bar
Right.
and banging it out alone in a room where I don't have to think about my angles. It is a job.
Well, the way I often play it to people is like, would you be upset if your partner went and got a massage?
Yeah.
Well, no. Why would it? Well, like, then why do you care that they're having sex with someone else on film? Like,
Yeah.
it's there. Yes, there is some physical gratification to it, but it's about as meaningful as that massage is.
Right. And I still think it's really wonderful to have like and it's harder sometimes on pro sets because you're not doing missionary like with your faces together. You're doing it with the guy kind of farther away. But you are having this fun connection and I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it just maybe feels threatening to some people, which is fine and then don't date a performer.
Agreed. Agreed. My thought is, it's like they're coming home to me at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah. And for me, because I don't get emotionally attached through sex. I get emotionally attached through other forms of intimacy. Those are the things that matter, right? It's the
yeah,
it's the cuddling, it's the hand holding, it's the going through hard times together, it's meeting each other's families, it's working through relationship problems. That's true intimacy. Like a penis in my vagina is just like a day at work.
well, and
Fun, but
and it's like especially for most guys, it's like your penis has definitely been in some people that you gave zero fucks about.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Like, I definitely have had sex with people that I could not recall their names to save my life. You could put a gun to my head and be like, I fucked that person? Like, and I've never been a performer. Like,
Yeah, it was like an AVN week. We were on the expo floor, and I would be like, God, that guy looks familiar. And then I would see his name tag and go, Oh my God, I fucked him. Like, because it's that many,
right.
people, which is hot to me because I like being a slut. But but it doesn't make them like less of a valuable person or me less of a valuable person. It just means that like our connection was kind of fleeting and it was work related.
Right.
It's fine.
Look, this is my coworker. Like,
I'm sure it was great.
yeah, we don't stare at a cubicle. Like we met in an office meeting once. Like we basically, we're at an office party once and like met each other. Like that's
Right, or it's like we worked on a project together, or
right,
something for a day. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And everyone's different, and it's cool to experience other people. I think that's fine, but that's not what true intimacy is.
No, it really shouldn't be. And like you're in the wrong industry if you get intimately connected via sex. Like
Right.
Like this isn't the place for you.
Yeah, there's I actually did a TikTok on it, and it was a story that I heard from a male performer where he, met her on set, they had sex, and she burst into tears at the end of it. And he was so concerned. And, did I say something? Did I do something? And she said through tears, I like you so much. This sweet baby angel just got dicked down so good that, well, she's in the wrong industry, right?
But she also may have had a crush on him before they ever worked together. She may have been
maybe.
Who knows?
But this is not the place for, bless her heart, but there are so many people I think who don't understand sex work because they have that, whatever that is, that hormone release that bonds you to somebody after sex. And so they can't understand that I've heard people say like, oh, like people in porn aren't all in love with each other. Like, no, no, but we're buddies. Like we're cool.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I definitely know some people that are like kind of neutral with some of their, like they're not on the no list, but it's just like, they're there.
That's how like a lot of where I'm like, oh, it's cool. That's a cool person. Like, sure, I'd work with them.
Yeah, but it's not like you're like, we're not going to Chili's after this to go get a meal.
Right. Or like maybe I wouldn't fuck them off camera, like in my personal life. You know what I mean? Like, but like that was cool. And like you did your job well. And I feel like I did my job well. And we connected nicely and we did a good scene. And I think that's that's pretty nice.
Yeah, good game.
Good game, coach. Slap the butts.